Hey folks, Dr. Mike here for Renaissance Periodization. Your weekly tip this week is the do's and don'ts of napping. That's right, taking naps. There are do's and don'ts? I thought you just go to sleep. Well, here's the deal. First, ask a question. Why should we nap? And the answer is you shouldn't nap. You don't have to nap. There's not like, oh man, I'm not napping. I'm not napping. This is a problem. I need to be napping as an elite athlete or trying to be an elite athlete. Nonsense. If you don't nap and you never nap, if you get a full night's of restful sleep, you're totally good to go. However, if it helps you recover in a total of a 48-hour, 2-day period, then napping is something you can try to do. Oh, hold on a second. 48 hours? Why not 24? We'll talk about that in the point after this next one. So let's get through the do's. What are the do's of napping? If you nap, you don't have to if you don't want to, set an alarm, best recommendations here, for 25 minutes or so. Do not snooze that thing when you wake up. A really easy tip for that is turn up the volume on your cell phone and put it outside of arm's reach. So when it hits, you got to physically get up out of bed to go turn it off. For most people, if you're not a child, as soon as you turn it off and you get out of bed, you're kind of like, I guess I'm up. You could have a choice to go back to sleep, but the ability to roll over and half asleep, go snooze, it's too tempting. So I would leave that shit off if it's a problem for you. Next, when you nap, put away all distractions. Get the room dark. Get comfortable to the extent that you're able to. Ideally, I wouldn't use your night sleeping bed. I would just use the couch or some kind of comfy chair, because your night sleeping bed should be kind of a ritualistic place you only use for night sleep. And it sounds weird, and if it's not a problem for you, if you can sleep anywhere and no problem, okay. You probably don't also need naps then. But we want to leave the bed as something we have a ritual for before we go to sleep, so that the only thing your brain associates with the bed is nightly sleep, and you stay the fuck away from it if you have sleeping problems, right? And if you're really, really tired and you need a whole jolt of energy and you need a marathon the rest of the day, taking a swig of an energy drink, half an energy drink, and then you're really tired, you're about to fall asleep, half an energy drink, set the alarm, put it down and go to sleep. As you wake up 25 minutes later, the efficacy curve of the stimulants is rising and you're going to wake up and be like, like Vegeta's first ascension, that kind of shit. So that's actually an interesting thing. You think well, if I take an energy drink, I'll never fall asleep. And it doesn't hit you right away. It takes 15 minutes at least in most cases to really feel it. And by then you're in a nap, 20 minutes, it's more of a natural wake up. Here are the don'ts, and here's where the 48-hour thing comes back in. Do not, in most cases, okay, I know you motherfuckers are going to get in the comments and be like, I can nap XYZ, all the don'ts don't apply to me. Holy fucking shit. Somebody please shake this man's hand. Presidential Medal of Freedom for that person. JK, put your shit in the comments. I love you guys. But on a serious note, here are the don'ts for most people that want to know the information. Don't sleep until you're tired. Okay, sorry, sleep until you're not tired. If you go and take a nap, look, if you just came back from a long trip or something like that, or you just finished a huge project for work or for school, and you look at your bed and you're like, I don't have any responsibilities for the next 2 days, and then it's all easy stuff for the next week after, fucking just collapse. Who gives a shit? But if you're using naps in a planned way, part of your work, your recreational activities, your actual training management, if you want to use naps as a regular part of your life, don't sleep until you're not tired, because what you're going to do 9 times out of 10 is sleep for 4.5 hours, wake up at 5:30 p.m. like a fucking zombie, weird mood, you have no idea what time it is, your brain barely works, and then you're up until 6 a.m. the next day looking at Reddit and shit you don't even want to see. That'll fuck you up, it'll throw everything off, so I would say stick to that 20 minutes thing. Now, if you do need to sleep for over 30 minutes, I would time it to an amount that includes the average amount of time it takes you to fall asleep, plus an entire solid fraction of a REM cycle. So 50 minutes. So REM cycles are generally, the whole sleep cycle is an hour and a half, 90 minutes, right? But half of a sleep cycle is actually a decent thing. You may experience, if you're a light sleeper, waking up after about 20 minutes, there's this time where you're very light sleeper, and if you wake up then at around 25 minutes, you actually feel pretty good shortly after. Right after 45 minutes, 50 minutes after you put your head down to sleep, you can get a bit of a jolt and you're not in that weird, funky half dream phase. You ever try to wake up from a nap or from sleep at the wrong time in your REM cycle and you're just you look at your cell phone and you're like, what the fuck does time even mean? And if you got a chance to go back to sleep, you would just zonk out for another 9 hours. It's fucked up. Waking up during those times of your sleep cycle, try to avoid it. So 50-minute naps are okay because it's 45 and then plus 5 to fall asleep. 95-minute nap, and then, 3 hours and 5 minutes or 2 whole REM cycles, that's a hell of a nap. But at least after that nap, you will wake up energized and clear-headed more likely rather than just a total fucking zombie. And like if you're flying somewhere for work or for school or for business and you have like a 36-hour day ahead of you because of time changes, yeah, like a 3-hour nap might be a fucking real solid thing that takes you to the rest of the day. No problem at all. Another don't. Do not begin napping later than about 4 p.m. in most cases because you'll really fuck up your nightly sleep. Like if your body has like a sleep counter thing, you like that science shit, you come here for the science, I know this. And if you get too much sleep too late, like it doesn't matter how quote unquote tired you thought you were going to be, it's going to be like 11 p.m. and you're going to be like this in front of your TV like, oh my God, I have all these thoughts and ideas. And you won't be asleep until 4 a.m. and then you got to wake up at 6 to go train your morning clients. And then what the fuck do you do? So I would say, if you're tired and it's past 4 p.m., it's time for a little mini half espresso, a little bit of black coffee, whatever you do to get your jolts up, finish the rest of the day in your delirium, and then just go to sleep nice and early that night. Another thing not to do is continue to use naps if they regularly mess with your sleep schedule. And that means they might help you in the first 24-hour period, but the sleep schedule is so fucked that the next day you're like either wake up really late or you can't fall asleep that next night after. So if that consistently, the 48-hour schedule is messed up by the inclusion of too many naps, stop doing it. A lot of people, when they nap, they're kind of just shooting themselves in the foot. Like when they don't nap and they get a good night of sleep, they're productive, everything feels great, their brains are on fire, and they have great days, they fall asleep at 11 p.m. or whatever, no problem. When they start napping, then they start falling asleep at 2 a.m. It fucks up the next day, 48-hour thing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's just no fucking good. So if you know napping's no good for you, you might have to like push it away. Like some people push alcohol. And I'm not talking about like alcoholic type stuff. I'm just talking about like when I drink, I yell at people and I get rowdy and I end up flashing people my genitals or titties in public. It's fun. It's nothing illegal. Oh, flashing your titties is probably legal. Flashing your genitals as a male could get you into some shit. But like, it's just like, I'm no fun on alcohol, so I'll just smoke weed with my friends or whatever. You know what I mean? I'll have 3 drinks instead of 10. I know 10's fun, but every time it goes the wrong way. Same with naps. Like when you want a nap and you're looking at your bed or your couch, you're like, this would be so good. But I know long-term it doesn't work for me. It's like cheating on your diet. Like, is the ice cream cone going to taste great? Yeah, hell yeah. Do you guys know how many clowns at zoos that have to sell the ice cream I've choked for ice cream cones? Tons, but I always regret it because the clown's probably a good person or was anyway. And then, you know, the ice cream's great when you're eating it, but then like you fuck up your diet and it's not good for your long-term results. Some people with napping, it's just not something they even be able to fit in with all the to-dos in this video. Lastly, don't use naps to regularly supplement shitty night's sleep in most cases, because a lot of times you can fix your nightly sleep. And we have other videos in this very series of weekly tips about how to get a good night's sleep. It's something that's super important. At the end of the day, naps are a supplement to that, and they're not a one-to-one. They're not a fix. It's kind of like not being metabolically healthy and being on tons of pills. Like biotech is sweet. The pills can help keep you alive and make your quality of life way better. But if you have a pretty easy chance to lose a bunch of weight, start eating better and start being fit and healthy, like that shit'll knock out half the pills out of your pill cabinet. And it's a qualitatively better way to be. Same thing with naps. If you can fix your sleep stuff and get good night's sleep and then you don't need naps, you're really winning at life. Now, if you're using naps to fix a broken sleep schedule that can't be fixed because you've tried and you're just a weird sleeper, hey, that's you doing what you got to do. It's totally fine. But if there are easy things you can do to fix your sleep at night and you're just not doing it and you're like, fuck it, I'll just take a nap, then you're just like a freshman in college and you don't have your shit together. Freshman in college, if you're watching this video, don't get upset. I love each and every single one of you as if you were my very own children. And on that incredibly creepy note, I'll see you guys next time.